Greetings, citizens. Welcome to another Real Comic Heroes podcast. I'm Travis. What happened?
Oh man.
Was there a question mark on the teleprompter that I didn't see?
I don't know why, but when you said take 200, I lost my shit.
No, it's like a minute ago.
I was trying to hold it in.
Welcome, citizens, to another Real Comic Heroes podcast. I'm Travis.
And I'm Patrick. Here for another James Bond movie.
That's
You're
right.
welcome. Which one are we on tap for today?
This one would be 1967's You Only Live Twice. Mr. Bond.
Yeah, and don't worry, it's a quote from the movie as well.
Oh yeah, I like it when they say the title in the movie.
Takes me right
Yeah,
out.
does it?
And I'm just like, oh, and I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
And thanks for reminding me which one. This is the one I noticed it the most.
Really? I guess.
I think it's because the title's so weird.
Okay.
Like, you only live twice, so I was like, really, you crammed it in there.
Yeah. So, You Only Live Twice is directed by Lewis Gilbert. He will come back to the Bond franchise for The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker, which I didn't realize it until somebody researched it. Basically, he made the same movie 3 times.
Really?
Essentially, the plots of these 3 movies, of You Only Live Twice, Moonraker, and Spy Who Loved Me, are kind of the same thing. They
Space related?
space related, rockets being stolen, that kind of thing.
Okay. So this is from 1967.
Correct.
I saw the budget on this was around 9.5 million.
Yeah.
So it's like $1 trillion today.
Right.
It made a crap ton of money.
Yeah. In the U.S., it made $43 million, but worldwide it did $111 million. So this was a massive deal.
This could fund the rest of the Bond movies. Profits of it.
Easily. I found Lewis Gilbert said that if he has any claim to fame, I believe I've shot the 3 biggest sets ever built for motion pictures. So,
oh.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll kick it off with just the IMDb summary. Agent 007 and the Japanese Secret Service Ninja Force must find and stop the true culprit of a series of space jackings before nuclear war is provoked. How do you feel about that, space jacking?
Jackings in space! Oh man, that's good. I'm pretty sure that's a move on the internet. It's not like they're not hijacking space.
What's your synopsis of You Only Live Twice?
Okay. No space jacking involved, but basically I went through this and I thought, well, here we go. In order for Bond to avoid the Cold War turning into World War III via space jacking, Bond must die and reincarnate himself as a Japanese ninja. Doing so, he learns how to fight with swords, shoots guns, which don't make sense to me as a ninja, but hey, it's still weird. The visual is bizarre of ninjas flying around and then randomly shooting guns in a formal manner like they do. All to stop a madman bent on world destruction. Basically trying to bring the 2 biggest powers in the world down And Bond's reaction to that is to poorly masquerade as a Japanese ninja in order to infiltrate a volcano.
Nice.
Like I said, this is a James Bond movie. So that's all I got on that.
My synopsis is, after faking his death in China, Bond travels to Japan to investigate possible rocket napping instead of space jacking.
I like that better.
Okay. Possible rocket napping plot being committed by the Japanese, allegedly. On his mission, Bond meets allies Aki and Tiger Tanaka, Japan's version of M. After numerous attempts on his life, Bond is forced into hiding in a small fishing village with his new bride, Kissy Suzuki. Mr. and Mrs. Bonsan investigate local volcanoes, leading them to the impressive SPECTRE base of operation and SPECTRE #1 himself, Blofeld.
Okay, do you want to go into blow by blow of the events that unfold?
Yeah.
Okay. Starting out, we get the usual Bond, the viewpoint of Bond shooting a guy.
Yeah, the whole gun barrel scene. I read that it was just taken from the previous version. There wasn't any change in actual footage. The guitar riff on the theme was slightly different, but no major change. It's still basically the same song.
We open up with the trademark circle.
Yeah, which takes us to
right to space. Space. When it opened in, maybe I was watching on a poor quality version, but it gave me the sense, like when they were zooming in on the ship, on the capsule, it kind of looked like it wobbled a little bit.
Probably.
So I was thinking of Mystery Science Theater.
Okay.
But as it got closer, I thought it looked a lot better, like the Earth rotating.
Yeah. I read that they used stock NASA footage for some of this stuff. Obviously, like the rocket itself is a prop and a miniature, I'm sure. Of course, that's they have the shot with the guy coming out of the space capsule, so that's full size. But I thought the miniatures or the props, the little rocket set or whatever, is pretty decent.
Yeah, I think the rotating Earth made it look much more real. We have the Apollo 13-esque control room.
Yeah, I really dig that control room.
Lots of lights and switches.
Yeah. And because I've been reading the Martian, I know what an EVA is, which is a extra vehicular activity.
He's out there just floating around.
Yeah, and I wonder how they did that. Did they
imagine wires?
Yeah, because he doesn't look like
hose to the wire. Maybe
he doesn't look like he's hanging there. But I didn't know if it was like stop motion on just the guy or
oh, you mean when he's getting captured by the
just any time that the guy is outside in the vacuum of space or whatever.
No, I meant to look back at this, but I thought there was towards later in the movie there are 2 astronauts from America.
Right.
But there's only one getting captured at the beginning. Because the one guy's caught outside.
You're right, yeah.
But maybe I got the Russians and the Americans confused.
That could be
when pretty chaotic.
When Bond rescues the astronauts later. Yeah, I don't know.
Because just watching this once through, I was like, hey, what am I missing?
Yeah, I don't know. So after the whole space thing where SPECTRE or some enemy rocket shows up and steals the U.S. rocket, essentially.
Yeah. I think it was just orbiting at this point. I don't think they'd gone to the moon.
67.
It shows my lack of history knowledge.
Right.
Well, I just
Same
meant
here.
the team.
No, yeah, this mission wasn't to go to the moon. This was just
they were doing like some atmospheric test or something like that.
Yeah.
And then essentially it cuts back to like a war console room.
Yeah, I had it. No fighting in the war room from Dr. Strangelove. I always like seeing the World Security Council kind of thing, those scenes. But after watching this one, it made me miss the more colorful version in the '66 Batman movie,
Oh,
the War Camp Council, because the one we get here is just a room full of stuffy white dudes, and it's like, I kind of like the Batman version where
yeah, nobody's wearing a monocle.
no monocles, no stereotypical outfits or anything. So
Well, basically, the Americans are blaming the Russians because of the tensions with the Cold War.
yeah,
And whatnot, and then it immediately, jarringly so, cuts to Bond and makeout for him.
yeah, kind of weird.
Because they have a man working on it in Japan, where they feel or that's where they thought the rocket originated from or landed.
Is that I'm unclear on? They
mentioned Japan at some point.
Yeah. I don't know that China had anything to do with that opening bit at all. I think this is just where Bond happens to be.
Yeah.
But we do open with the first thing that Bond says, which
creepiest line so far.
Why do Chinese girls taste different from all other girls?
Not to be outdone, she has a creepy line herself.
Does she? I didn't
where
take note of it.
Bond, mentions the taste of Chinese girls, how they taste differently, like Peking duck.
Oh,
and
right.
then she says,
"Darling, I give you very best duck."
Well, that'd be lovely.
Great.
Oh.
I guess I just missed that. I think I was
like, creepy notch.
Yeah.
Met.
That's funny. So basically what happens, so Bond and her were basically just finishing up in bed. She hits a switch and sends him into the wall in one of those like Murphy beds. And then some Chinese dudes with guns just run in and start blasting the hell out of this bed. Not really sure why these guys are. I mean, we know why people are shooting Bond. We're always shooting Bond.
Yeah, I assume this was another mission he was on.
Yeah, it's kind of irrelevant, like why these guys are shooting all that. But you find out later that this was all a setup to fake Bond's death.
Yeah, because basically I wrote down that Bond is so horrible at his job of being a spy, they need to kill him off.
Yeah.
In order to be an effective spy once again.
So wait a minute. What you're telling me is if a spy goes around announcing his name and his presence to everyone he meets, that's going to have repercussions?
I believe so. And,
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me.
The fact that he probably has about 15 fraternity suits against him, judging by his...
That's what these guys are here for.
Yeah.
To deliver like a.
Those are her brothers.
They got a subpoena to.
Yeah.
Fraternity testing.
It's like you signed no. Maybe we should have rethought this. Machine gunning the guy. We're trying to get to sign this. Well, thanks for bringing it up now. It's a little late.
Yeah.
Or is it? Luckily, his Murphy bed was reinforced with bulletproof steel plating.
Right.
Underneath the bed. See, I don't know if these guys are in on it.
That's what I don't know either. I'm guessing. I'm guessing that she's in on it.
Yeah.
She knew that he wasn't going to die. The guys that storm into the room and shoot up the place think that they are killing Bond. I'm guessing because they're probably going to go to their superiors and say, "Yeah, we killed Bond," blah blah blah. Because they probably in some chain of whatever hierarchy, they probably work for Spectre.
Yeah, they're probably like number 452.
Yeah.
453 or something.
Well, 453 was sick this day. So this is 468.
Oh, nice though. Good for him.
Yeah. But what I thought was weird is like as soon as they rush out of the room, the British,
the British are coming.
Well, yeah, they come to investigate like pretty quickly.
But it was so quick. I was like, what?
Yeah. And of course, Bond's got the red paint. No bullet wounds, but the back wall behind the bed does show bullet holes. So it's an elaborate, fake out.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
And he takes some kind of drug that makes him seem dead. It seems like.
Oh, maybe
because. I thought he mentioned something when he wakes up about the effects, or somebody said something.
Oh, okay, I guess I missed that.
So I always thought that he had some kind of drug that slowed his heart rate down.
Could
so
be.
I don't know if these guys were in on it. police force that shows up first.
Right. Very unclear as far as who's in, who's got
a chaotic beginning.
Yeah. But it's effective.
Yeah, I liked it.
I
was like, what the hell's going on? I thought this was first watching this because it's Japan themed.
Yeah.
I thought it was automatically like a Mount Fuji thing.
Yeah.
Because it's all lava and like that's the only thing I can think of when I think of Japan. Like stereotype is Japan has apparently Mount Fuji in every scene.
Yeah.
Even though it's nowhere near Tokyo.
This song isn't as bad. This is the song by Nancy Sinatra. You only live twice. And there are other versions that were way, heavier on the Japanese influence. So this one is better. It's more just stringy and less. I don't know what instruments they use for.
I always think of those not a sitar, but something similar where it's like plucking.
Yeah.
Of the strings.
Yeah. And it's kind of one of the weird ones that only takes place in, I guess, in China and Japan. Like there's not a lot of, doesn't go to a bunch of different locations in this one, but it's kind of nice because
I liked it.
It's kind of a big deal that we're seeing a lot of this Japan scenery and everything. Mm-hmm. So I think it deserves to basically just be set in Japan only for this movie.
Yeah. I like the Japan live filming.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of cool seeing like Tokyo and the hustle and bustle, the lights.
Yeah.
Even like the sumo scene, or dragged out a bit, but it was kind of cool.
I really dig that one of the nice things about the Bond movies is they do a good job of showing audiences some of the native culture without, I think, making fun of it, without, I don't feel like because we saw a sumo wrestling match or whatever, I don't feel like we're seeing something stereotypical. I think it's true to that.
Well, yeah, culture. Sumo wrestling's big.
Yeah. So I don't feel like they were, I guess, pandering and just showing, of course we're in Japan, so we're going to show sumo wrestling. But I thought it was very genuine, and I guess I appreciated that they showed us that little slice of Japanese culture. Yeah. So that's cool.
And it's brought up even today when you go to. It's not like.
Yeah.
It's like if you go to if you're visiting America and you go to a rodeo or something.
Yeah.
That actually goes on.
Sure.
In parts of America. It may seem stereotypical, or go to a baseball game or something, but it's something that actually happens.
Right.
It's not like they're making it up or
something.
It just seems stereotypical because.
Sure. And I don't want people to think that this movie doesn't get stereotypical.
Oh, I was so scared when they said they were going to turn Bond into a Japanese man. I was like, oh, geez, don't do something weird with his eyes, please.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So he got buried as a naval commander at sea.
Yeah.
Very shallow.
Well,
it was still light where he landed.
I read that they filmed that in the Bahamas, so it's kind of probably they were familiar enough from Thunderball with shooting underwater in that location, so it's probably like, well, why don't we go back there to shoot that underwater, clear water and that kind of thing.
I thought they just had extra footage left over.
No, that would have been, I'm sure, nice foresight. No, the above water scenes were shot in Gibraltar. Again, the underwater part was shot in the Bahamas. So, before we get to the funeral at sea portion,
sure.
I just had a few notes about kind of in the opening credits. We're here to talk about the screenplay and that it's written by Roald Dahl, who is, I guess, most famous for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, those movies, or books, I guess. The weird thing is that Roald Dahl also wrote the screenplay for He wrote the screenplay for Cubby Broccoli on the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which the original book was written by Ian Fleming.
Oh,
so yeah, so this is kind of the second movie that Roald Dahl has taken, from Ian Fleming's original book and written the screenplay for, adapted it for screen. Yeah. And Ian Fleming and Roald Dahl knew each other from World War II. They were both in in the espionage section of the Royal Naval Command. So they were familiar with each other. So that's kind of interesting.
With the water burial scene,
yeah,
I thought it was kind of cool, like to get Bond into the ship.
No, I think it's very cool.
They dump him overboard with a breather. I was wrapped up like a mummy.
Yeah.
And then he gets out, and if I remember right, he's in a tuxedo.
Oh, well,
I'm
he's
guessing
in
his naval commander outfit.
Yeah. His official, Navy gear or whatever. Which you never think of Bond as being he is technically a naval commander.
I like the later escape from the ship. It was kind of crazy that they launch him into a torpedo.
Yeah, that's a little surprising. I like Bond's line when he comes, they unwrap him.
Request permission to come aboard, sir.
Permission granted.
Thank you.
All right, so Bond gets his standard mission briefing with M, who has a really sweet office on the sub. No red padded door, unfortunately. But, so Bond learns that they suspect the rockets are being, I guess, sent to Japan.
Like after the space jacket.
Yeah.
They go back to Japan with the captive astronaut or astronauts. And then they get the password to Bond to meet his Japanese counterpart, I guess.
Right, yeah. Moneypenny gives Bond the 3 words that he has to say.
We tried to think of something that you wouldn't forget.
Yes?
I love you. Repeat it, please, to make sure you get it.
Don't worry. I get it.
Yeah, he says it pretty convincingly to Tanaka.
Right. But I guess what I've kind of learned about Bond and Moneypenny is that they both like each other for sure. He doesn't want to establish a relationship with her, essentially because he doesn't want to hurt her later, Yeah, and same with her. She doesn't want to get involved with him because she knows that it'd be a doomed relationship. So
it's, Bond is riddled with STDs.
Right.
So that's really a courtesy. That's how much he actually does love.
Right.
And then we get to see the wonderful world of, I'm assuming Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah, I don't remember if they established where it is exactly.
It's pretty busy, so I'm assuming it's Tokyo.
Lots of signage, lots of, it's nice you get a lot of different flavor of seeing this city versus some European city that we've seen before, or Jamaica, Bahamas, where we've seen Bond a lot. So
I always thought of Tokyo as New York. Like Far East.
Right.
Because it's very similar in like Times Square, New York, with all the lights and hubbub, and downtown Tokyo, I'm assuming it always has the giant billboards and stuff.
Yeah.
Plus they all have massive transit systems with trains and way too many people living in one area for too high a price.
Right.
If you enjoy watching large men and dogs, this is the scene for you.
Yeah, go ahead and kick that on slow.
Slow motion then.
So Bond meets up with his Japanese contact, Akiko Wakabayashi, who gives the code word, I love you, and she takes him to meet a Mr. Henderson.
Yeah, a really tall, odd-looking fellow.
Yeah, he does have a very strange look about him.
I thought he was going to be a bad guy.
He does have that look. It's interesting because the actor Charles Gray will come back in Diamonds Are Forever.
Oh, really?
He's the bad guy in it.
Oh, there you go.
So it's kind of weird. Like Henderson is just there as just his contact.
It's to get him to Tanaka?
Yeah, it's kind of unclear what he's here for. But he, I think, just gives Bond some more information about the fact that a rocket has been brought to Japan or has landed in Japan, that kind of thing. But this early in the movie, you're not really expecting all the information right up front. So it's a strange scene, but I do like Henderson, and he has a pretty great death scene. He just kind of stops talking all of a sudden, and Bond pulls him away. And
stupid paper walls.
I know it's paper walls, but it's a kind of a cool little chase scene. Bond, takes down the guy, the assassin, I guess. And I wouldn't have thought like back then that wearing the paper masks was such a big thing in Japan. I knew it is now, air quality and things like that, but
I thought it was more for disguise.
Yeah,
but
it seems like you have that traditional ninja outfit kind of thing. But,
all because he's Japanese.
Hey,
I'm
the asshole.
I would have gone with a turtleneck rolled up. That's right. But I always hated how Bond kills everybody. It's like, why not keep the guy alive?
Yeah.
I mean, it pays off later because
Sure.
he disguises himself.
Yeah.
He didn't know that he had a driver waiting for him.
That's true.
So he kills this guy when I was immediately thinking, why didn't you get some information as to who sent you, why? It's not like he had a capsule and killed himself. Bond just killed him straight up.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it worked out for him in the end because the driver is inept at his job.
And Bond uses a nice, clever. I'll just pull the collar up and wear this paper mask and hunch over
and make noises. So like I got hurt, so I can't talk to the guy.
So I guess the first time in the movie that Bond's going to impersonate a Japanese man.
Yeah. And then basically he gets taken to the lair of
the Osato Corporation.
Number 11, is he? Oh wait, no, that's the woman.
Right. Osato is.
I don't know if he has a number.
He is a Japanese industrialist, secretly affiliated to SPECTRE. So no number listed here, but
Bond's trying to sneak into his office. Where an awesome furniture fight. With intense Foley work.
It's awesome. In the audio commentary, Ken Adam actually talks about this scene, this fight, and he worked with the stunt choreographer and Bob Simmons, who is typically Bond's stuntman. They worked together to design the office and the layout. And they chose the furniture based on what they could use in a fight, and it is a nice fight. They throw each other around the room. And it's almost like Bond's fight with Oddjob, but because they move around so much, they use the space.
Not because he's fighting a large.
No. And that guy, I think he's like a Samoan actor. I've seen him in other movies before.
Yeah, I was about to say he didn't look like he was Japanese, but
I think he's I think he's Samoan.
I can see that.
So,
but he wields the katana or Japanese sword very well.
Yeah.
For a big guy.
For a big guy, just kind of slashing around.
It's a very delicate sword. It's not like a long sword.
Right.
It's been sword talk with Patrick.
Yeah. So Bond basically he fights with the guy around the room. He takes him out, kind of bonks him over the head with this little statue.
That Foley work reminded me of Japanese sounding fight scenes where it's
oh, okay.
Just really specific sounds that were made.
Yeah.
And hit. And it was really loud to me, but maybe it was just the volume I had.
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't.
Made me think of Bruce Lee movie.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I do sound effect when it comes to
Yeah.
Me and that dude from Police Academy.
Nice, Michael Winslow.
Yeah.
So we get to see Bond doing a little bit of safe cracking with a gadget that he just has on him. So I guess he's met up with Q already. We just didn't get to see. He steals some paperwork and basically trips an alarm and has to hightail it out of there. Did you have any other notes on that section? Yeah.
No, the fight scene was by far
Yeah,
highlighted that.
Yeah, for sure. So he escapes and gets picked up by Akiko, or Aki, as I think she's probably called at this point. She takes him in the like this badass little Toyota 2000 GT.
Yeah.
That
white car.
Yeah, which was not typically a convertible. They had to, because he was so tall, they had to customize this car. They had to cut the top off, make it a convertible basically for his size.
And she saves his butt a couple times.
Yeah, this is like the second, or this is the first time that she picks him up. But it's kind of weird because she then leads him to Tanaka's office and runs away.
But I like how he falls into the trap of like the floor gives way and he slides into the office. It's
cool, but it's kind of like,
why?
Why? Exactly. That's pretty much the note I had. Why do they lead him to Tanaka, and send him down like this air duct basically and literally drop him into Tiger Tanaka's office?
What I thought was it was just the Japanese group showing them how good they are.
Could be, I guess, because Tiger Tanaka is essentially the M of Japan.
But with a way cooler name.
Yeah, and his own train.
Yes. He has an awesome lair, awesome train,
yeah,
awesome home. This guy is kicking M's butt.
For sure. Yeah, Ken Adam talked about his bunker. They wanted it, because it was underground, they wanted it to look like they wanted to move away from the traditional Japanese, architecture and old-fashioned style.
Yeah.
And merge that with like a bomb shelter bunker kind of look. And then the train that Tanaka has is just kind of badass. Lots of wood. He's got like a bar set up, TV, and everything.
Yeah, I learned that sake is at 98.4 degrees.
Apparently, Bond is, he's an expert at knowing the proper temperatures every drink needs to be.
That's hot as hell.
Well, hot sake.
I thought it was just warm. I didn't know it was freaking hot like that.
Yeah.
That does not sound refreshing at all.
I don't know. I've had sake a few times. It's kind of nice.
I guess we get in winter.
Yeah.
I like the when Bond stole from the safe, he got a picture. That they were able to somehow blow up the image.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
Almost too well.
Yeah.
Enhance. So I guess, the information they got was that there's a boat called the Ningpo that Osato owns.
And they'll be able to figure out the shoreline.
Yeah, the shoreline where it was photographed.
And the weird Japanese sexism.
Yeah.
Play right away, which is right up Bond's alley.
Right, yeah. So Tanaka takes him to his home, I guess, where he has this massive harem and like bathhouse.
And they wash them.
Yeah.
Which I know is a Japanese thing, like where you wash each other.
Right.
But
and I don't know.
And I've seen it with dudes washing each other, like
wow.
Like they'll wash each other's backs, essentially.
I didn't know you went to Japan.
I've watched anime.
And this
but
is
it's
one
not
of those
weird in their culture.
Exactly. It's a very patriarchal society.
Yeah.
So the men, I guess, take priority as far as.
Yeah, he has that awesome line.
In Japan, men always come first, women come second.
I might just retire to here.
And then they talk about the hair and everything, about, the Japanese men have like beautiful bare skin. And the funny thing, like on the audio commentary, it was Ken Adam and Sean Connery actually went to a bathhouse in Japan, which apparently are fully nude and co-ed. So the idea that the two of them would just be in basically hot tubs together isn't really how it would be. It would basically be a lot of, little grottos or big pools or hot tubs or that kind of thing. But it would be, men, women,
I've seen them segregated out in when I've watched anime,
Okay.
because they always have a scene. I don't know, maybe because they're supposed to be kids.
Okay.
Or like teenagers,
Sure.
and they always have a scene where one of the boys is trying to peek over the wall at the girls.
Okay.
So that's my experience with Japanese culture as anime.
Nice.
I don't doubt that there's co-ed ones.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, Ken Adams said that because like Bond's legs are so hairy that it was just so intriguing to a lot of the Japanese women. They wanted to come up and touch him and everything, and kind of didn't make the Japanese men very happy. So it was one little run-in that they had with the local.
Surprised they weren't like repulsed by it.
I know. I think it was just so like alien to them.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like, is he part monkey?
Yeah.
How hairy is he? I don't know if they waxed his back or something.
Yeah, it seems like.
I thought at one point he had like some back hair, but
I think in one of the earlier movies he did. Yeah.
But maybe I don't know when that became a faux pas in Hollywood. Because you see it in the 70s, like the hair, like crazy. But now it's like every action star is like waxed down to the nines.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It's one of those ebbs and flows in the style and the time.
This has been Manscaping Talk.
So then there's this weird scene after the bathhouse that Bond shows back up to Osato. I think it's like Osato Chemical or something like that.
Apparently I don't have cameras when he was in there last.
Yeah, it's weird because
it's not like he's disguised.
He goes to the same room that's now like completely redecorated, like all the furniture's been replaced and everything. Then they're also tracking him with like these cameras that you couldn't tell is it a camera or a gun.
Looks like it's both.
It does because it's got crosshairs.
It looks like a turret up in the ceiling.
Yeah. So
and the crosshairs. But I don't know if they just put this in after the break-in. All this stuff.
I don't get
because why wouldn't they have captured some kind of image?
Yeah, and maybe because no one was there. It was after hours when he was here the first time. So they literally didn't. They don't have 24-hour surveillance. They only have it when they want it. I don't know. So Bond confronts Osato in one of those weird, like, we're not sure why they're meeting, or
he's just there, like, pretending to be a businessman from England, and I don't know if it's just to get the measure of him or what the deal is.
Yeah.
But we get introduced to the badass Miss Grant, is it?
Oh yeah, Helga Grant or Brandt. Helga Brandt.
Oh, is it Brandt?
Yeah.
I kept hearing Grant.
Yeah, that's Karen Dorr, and she on the audio commentary she said that she wasn't very impressed with Sean Connery at first. Like she just thought he was some kind of dull kind of guy, and then once she worked with him and actually saw him on set, her opinion was totally flipped around, and she realized how how intense he was.
So what you're telling me is that okay. I like the X-ray machine he has at his desk.
The desk is really cool. It's like this massive, console. And
Sean Connery can now no longer have children as a result of this movie.
Yeah.
He's not going to let Apron to put over. Right. But probably works out for Bond.
Yeah.
Less kids, less paternity seats, as we mentioned earlier. So he's like, all right. Free love, everybody. Nice. But we're going to get to the my favorite rooftop scene.
Yeah, oh yeah. Rooftop scene's great. But I like the guy playing Osato is the Japanese councilman in the Batman.
Are you serious?
Yep, same guy. When we were watching Batman, I thought, I think that's the guy from You Only Live Twice. And after watching it and looking it up on IMDb and everything, it's the same guy playing in the World UN whatever council in Batman movie.
Oh, that reminds me. I was going to look up because I had the same thing happen to me.
Oh yeah.
When I was watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay.
The rich kid that he thought stole his bike has a bodyguard butler that looks like Oddjob.
Okay.
And I gotta find out if it is Oddjob because it's a big,
not sure yet if it is or not.
stocky Japanese-ish looking guy.
Okay.
that looks oddly like Oddjob, but he could just be cast to look like Oddjob.
Okay.
And I was like, I think that's the same dude. I totally forgot to look it up though.
All right, citizens, let's
That's
play.
your-
Is
yeah.
it racist?
Well, no, he does like the neck thing,
Right.
and I'm not being a total
Sure.
piece of work, but like he's also got the suit on. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He's probably modeled to look like.
But I didn't know
Oddjob.
because he is older, so
Could
I
be
didn't know
that.
if it was because he's
Right.
like a grayed out version.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up and maybe.
That's your assignment, folks.
Yeah,
First one to answer gets a gold step.
nice. First contest of the show.
Yeah.
Um,
Now I'm gonna have to look it up so
Yeah.
I seem like a total jerk. Yeah. But yeah, we get to the rooftop scene, and I just thought it was shot so cool.
oh, it is. Oh, can we talk about the car chase scene first though? In
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
helicopter.
Sure.
Oh, because that is badass. Like, again, Akiko arrives at Asado, picks up James Bond as he's trying to kill him on his way out of the office, which so weird because they had him in the crosshairs in the office. They could have just shot him right there.
Yeah.
But as soon as Bond leaves, Asado tells his people to kill him. So one of those
Bond could have
Bond
done
trope.
like 50 times. in
Yeah.
this movie.
So Aki leads them, on this chase that ends in her calling Tiger Tanaka for air support, and this giant helicopter shows up,
Oh, duh, yeah.
out in the middle of nowhere.
that was
Picks up
pretty
the
cool.
car and just drops it straight into the bay or whatever.
I must have been transfixed by this and didn't write it down.
It's a great scene,
Yeah.
and they do it for real. Obviously
Yeah.
people aren't in the car when they pick it up, I guess, but.
I heard somebody's wife had this idea, one of the writers or
Oh,
producers.
really?
Like, I don't know, she saw it like somewhere, like, or maybe she was thinking of like a junkyard where you
Okay.
magnetize and
Maybe.
bring it into the crusher, but
Yeah.
that was a great idea.
No, it's an awesome scene. So yeah, this helicopter just swoops down, picks up the car, and like I said, takes it.
I have a hard time doing that nowadays with the amount of metal that's in cars today. It's
Yeah,
not
you probably
great.
wouldn't be able to get a good hold on it.
Unless you got a hold of the frame somehow.
Yeah,
But I mean, I guess you could do it with a claw.
yeah, that's probably how they do it now.
But yeah, this was really cool. The shot was insane. I mean, obviously you could see nobody's in the car. But
Yeah.
I thought it was weird.
Oh, they
maybe
put
put some
dummies in
there.
it.
Yeah.
They do put some dummies.
I think I thought those were headrests at first, but they don't
Sure.
have headrests. So.
So it's a really cool scene that I'm glad they did for real.
Yeah.
Because you would think at the time that they would have.
I really hope that shot over the city was done over the ocean.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was.
That was pretty cool. They just dunk them in the ocean.
Yeah.
Probably
Just let him go. But the weird thing is like Bond's watching it from the car because they got this little TV in the car. Where is that footage from?
Yeah.
It's one of those like, how do they have eyes on the?
They have another spy
Because they're
plane
seeing
in the
what
area.
we're seeing, that kind of thing. Like, gosh,
And they don't care about littering with the
no,
car
just
full of oil and
yeah,
gasoline.
it's fine. It's fine.
It's not like this is a heavily fished area.
Yeah. Oh, in the car, they're talking to Tanaka, and Bond calls for little Nellie and for her father. So that's a great little setup for something later.
Tiger, contact M. Tell him to send little Nellie. Repeat, little Nellie. Suggest she be accompanied by her father. Most urgent. Understood? Understood.
Yeah, I didn't. At first, I was like, what is he talking about? Little Nelly and her father.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what he was. I mean,
Yeah, it's a good setup.
Yeah.
So,
but they go to the docks and try to check out the ship.
yeah.
And right away, somebody noticed them.
Yeah, instantly, as soon as they show up to check out the Ningpo, which I guess they learned that they have these tanks of synthetic turpentine that are apparently liquid oxygen, rocket fuel. So
And Bond knows this by the temperature.
something, yeah. So
Bond's an
yeah.
amateur chemist.
So they show up, and immediately this chase happens, which is a really awesome little
Chase
fight,
ship.
Yeah, through the docks and everything.
Yeah, when they shot that rooftop scene, it was cool because they showed it, they panned way out.
Yes.
So you could see
The
it was all
great
like
wide
one long shot.
Yeah.
And like the way that like they showed the gangs coming at him like from the camera's point of view.
Yeah.
It made me think of Japanese style action scenes.
Yeah.
Like any early Jackie Chan movies.
Right.
Where it's like a bunch of dudes with random weapons coming at you.
Yeah. And this was one of those, like, the martial art movie hadn't become a big thing yet, because that didn't happen until like the 70s, I think. But so this is kind of before.
Well,
a lot of that.
It's probably because they went to Japan and got influenced by stuff that had been going on. It just wasn't widespread. Like, I don't know. I always think Bruce Lee brought that to the public eye in America, which would have been late 60s, early 70s.
Probably, yeah. So obviously Bond gets captured.
Oh man, I love this chick.
See, I wasn't crazy about Helga Brandt. She, to me, seemed like just almost identical to Fiona Volpe from Thunderball.
Right.
Like, in looks and just overall demeanor. I mean,
I didn't like her until Plane Scene.
Okay.
Here, like, she gives into him right away, like normal Bond girl, but then it turns out she was just having her fun.
And that I'm cool with.
And caught him off guard.
Sure.
Thinking, I've slept with another woman. She's basically in my palm of my hand and turns to funny, but
for me it's just weird because she's apparently an assassin. She is number 11 on the SPECTRE scale, and you think she's going to torture him because she has all these knives and everything, and she decides to sleep with him like Bond women do, and it is nice that she doesn't fall for him or anything. But then she decides to set up this death trap plane sequence where
it was a good idea. I mean, unfortunately, Bond can 1-inch punch and break the board across his arms.
I don't know. It's just a very
and it's elaborate, but
for me it was just strange, like to have him sort of tied up in the back of a plane. But
see, I liked it because I thought this plan was specific for Bond.
Okay.
Like, she knew Bond. She knows that he gets to women, and then the women tend to fall for him.
Yeah.
So maybe he'd think that she was like them and would get him off guard because he thinks, I've slept with her. She's within my grasp. Talking about getting her to come back with him.
Yeah. Could be.
I don't know. I just thought it was a different angle to play. It's almost like she James Bonded him.
That's true. That's a good point.
Or James Bondaged him.
Nice.
Ooh, thank you.
I'll have to add a little hi-hat right there. Alright, so at this point, Bond is like leisurely taking in tea at Tanaka's estate, I guess, and then we get to see Q finally.
Welcome to Japan, Dad. Is my little girl hot and ready?
Look, 007, I've had a long and tiring journey, probably to no purpose, and I'm in no mood for your juvenile quips.
And Little Nelly is the first glimpse of a gadget that Bond has.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was kind of disappointed by it.
Really?
It's just like,
It kind of looks silly, but it's kind of used well, I thought.
It's like a giant drone that you have to sit in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Little Nelly is a little auto gyro. Little helicopter kind of thing.
And of course, it's got your Bond rockets, Bond guns.
Yeah, fully loaded with actual working weaponry.
I mean, that's cool and all, but I don't know. There wasn't any cool little gadgets.
Yeah, he used that thing to crack the safe.
That was pretty cool, but other than that, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because Q didn't go through it with us.
Right. Yeah. Bond takes out Little Nelly and does some reconnaissance kind of thing.
That's what Bond calls his joke. He takes out Little Nelly. Right. Which would make Bond Nelly's dad. I hope. Alternate episode of James Bond. I like the quick little assemblies.
Yeah, when it just like
it's just like magically
auto cuts to it being in different stages of being assembled. Yeah, but it's kind of cool when Q goes through the various features of Little Nelly and everything.
But I like how Tanaka's like, oh, this is such a silly toy.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Right.
Plus, he's got this like weak helmet cam. It's like the first GoPro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I like the little helicopter battle that Bond has with the seriously outmatched, Little Nelly versus these other helicopters. But he does kind of for some reason he's kind of now clued into volcanoes. There's no,
I thought it was the shoreline.
could be, maybe he's just scoping out the shoreline.
Tanaka came up with the location
Oh,
of the
that's
shoreline.
right, that's right, okay.
So
Yeah.
that's, I mean, there just have to be volcanoes around
Yeah.
there, I guess, and that's a good place to hide a rocket.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Everyone knows that. That's like Evil Guy 101
Mm-hmm.
when you're picking a lair. Yeah, volcanoes are used a lot. I mean, you got The Incredibles that used it.
Yeah.
It's a trope of
Yeah, just that, the volcano layers are,
the power of the earth
Yeah.
shows the power of myself.
right, the kind of man trying to control
Nature.
nature kind of thing.
Yeah, they have their air fight a la
Yeah.
Top Gun.
And
Even with the flybys that he does with M, he just, that made me think of Top Gun.
after the Little Nelly scene, we get a Soviet rocket launch. And again, we get to see it, being captured and everything by Spectre.
Because they're trying to, blame it on the Americans or the
Exactly,
Russians.
yeah.
They're trying to get the big powers to
Right.
start another war.
Yeah. I thought it was a really cool scene, because this kind of goes back to why, for me, Dr. No didn't work, because you never see the bad
Yeah.
guy doing anything evil.
Yeah.
So this is kind of, throughout the movie, it started with Spectre stealing rockets and everything, and then we get it again here, and then they'll try and do it again later. So it's nice, we actually get to see that plot, I guess, in action. And then the Spectre rocket comes back down. We finally get to see the inside of the volcano lair, which is amazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is even better than Austin Powers Volcano Lair.
Yeah. And it's one of the, and I don't know if it's still to this day, but at the time, it's the most expensive set ever built. So Ken Adams, really outdid himself there. It was, $1 million just for the volcano lair, 1.2. Or no, I'm sorry, the volcano set cost $1 million. The entire budget of Dr. No was 1.2 million. So, kind of shows where these movies were so successful, they were able to spend all this money on just a set. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, they show a lot of the evil cat hand shot that they do with Blofeld.
Yeah, a lot of
Felt bad for the cat.
oh,
They're just getting petted like there's no tomorrow.
yeah, that cat went through some trauma.
Blofeld sounded like a whiny little bitch, kind of.
He does have a weird kind of cadence to his
Sort of
voice.
like
He's played very
petulant, spoiled child in this.
Yeah.
Like when he's upset that Bond isn't dead. And
Yeah.
he's like, killed Mr. Bond.
I like Blofeld's office because it reminds me of Dr. No, where Dr. No's office was full of stolen artwork and everything, and that's kind of how Blofeld's office is decorated. So you kind of wonder, are these important pieces of art that have just been stolen? But anyways, Osato and Helga Brandt show up to Blofeld's office. They explain, basically, kind of like in From Russia with Love, when the two are explaining why their plans didn't work and why they failed and everything, and they think he's going to kill Sato, but instead
Kills for number 11.
he kills number 11 and kills Helga Brandt with the Piranha tank, that's awesomely in
another floor that
Blofeld's
turns
office.
into a ramp.
Yeah. So she gets eaten alive, and
I just think Spectre really needs to work on their HR skills.
Right.
We keep killing the better of the two.
yeah,
Now we're going to get into ninja camp training.
right.
Where they're supposed to be these ninjas, masters of concealment.
Mm-hmm.
They're all loud as hell.
Yeah,
They're like, ja, huh, yeah. And then machine guns.
It is kind of strange because there's a lot of
they're yelling
bravado,
constantly.
a lot of a lot of showmanship to their fighting styles and everything. But then they are supposed to be silent warriors.
Yeah, I believe my notes say concealment my ass.
Yeah,
These dudes be loud.
yeah. But it is an awesome training montage kind of thing.
They're shooting the guns they put the gun up, then extend and shoot. They're very formulaic about it, and I guess that makes it ninja shooting.
I guess, yeah. So we get to see a lot of cool weaponry and everything. So what else do we have after?
It's not clear to me why Bond needs to he a ninja?
Well, what I've read and what I heard was basically Bond needs to kind of go into hiding into this like Japanese fishing village, and the only way he'll be accepted is if he is married.
And
they won't accept an outsider.
Quasi turned into.
So they decide to disguise him as a Japanese man in order to wed Kissy Suzuki, who he meets.
That was.
Oh, you know what? That doesn't make sense because Akiko is still alive when they decide to transform him.
Yeah.
So maybe that wasn't even part of the plan. I don't know.
I don't know. It seems fishy, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Kind of fishy why they had to disguise him the way they did.
Yeah.
Just to infiltrate a volcano shortly thereafter.
Yeah, it's kind of unclear.
Like, why couldn't he hide out at his house, Tiger Tanaka's?
Yeah.
I mean, he'd been there this whole time.
Yeah, very unclear. So.
And I'm just glad that the Japanification, I don't know how you say it, to turn him into a Japanese man wasn't over the top and.
Right.
I was really scared.
A little bit of eye makeup and a weird hairpiece,
yeah.
And that's basically it.
Which he's used to.
I think they colored his skin a little bit, gave him a little bit of tan kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just worried for like doing something with his eyes.
Yeah.
Or...
Well, they laid over those little bits of. They showed them putting things around.
Yeah, that's why it got me concerned.
Then they don't really have it on him.
That and I love his Japanese accent. They didn't work on that part.
Yeah.
They should have made him a mute.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious.
So unfortunately, an assassin ends up killing Akiko with the awesome poison on a string kind of thing.
Yeah,
he just drips it into her mouth. So that's really cool. But unfortunately, she's gone. Bond goes back to his ninja training and everything, and ends up killing a guy because he's actually an assassin, I guess. And then Bond, for some reason, gets married.
I notice he's hunched over. Is that supposed to be Japanese?
Because he's so tall that it's a.
I thought it was like a sort of a more introverted stance he was taking.
Right.
Because normally he's standing up straight and proud.
Yeah, I think it's just because he's so tall that he was an attempt to be shorter. I don't know.
I thought he was pretending to be more humble,
right?
A humble fisherman or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know.
But when he's dressed up in this hat and these fisherman clothes, I thought he kind of looked like a lady. Sometimes, it was very. I don't know. I think it's the neckerchief.
Oh,
it's very,
could be. Yeah.
It seemed kind of feminine, but I don't know. He seemed meeker.
Yeah.
As,
his demeanor changes.
This guy is a Japanese person.
So then you go to like this segment where now that Bond and Kissy are married, it's like kind of slows things down, and it's
the
life
whole thing. I mean, the training
I like the training.
I mean, the montage would be fine, but
right.
They spend so much time on turning him into an undercover Japanese fisherman.
Yeah, it's not
very necessary.
Yeah, it's not clear why it's needed.
And then I was worried for Tanaka because I thought he was going to be like that dude in the first Dr. No. What's his name?
Quarrel?
No, the guy that he meets at the bar that ends up dying on the beach by the dragon.
Yeah, Quarrel.
Oh, is it Quarrel?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he was going to be like that because he was like the third man out.
Right. Yeah, it is.
He's the third wheel.
Normally they would have probably killed him, but that's probably why they killed Akiko. So Bond and Kissy just, I don't know if it's a random thing, but they ended up going out for a boating trip and then end up diving into this volcano area that I guess Bond just wants to re-investigate. They end up kind of hiking up to one of the volcanoes, and then ultimately they see a helicopter conveniently happen to land, but ultimately they know something's up with this volcano because this helicopter just disappears. So they stick around to investigate, and
meanwhile America launches another.
Yeah, which I found out was the footage was swapped. So we saw a Russian launch and we saw a U.S. launch. Those pieces of footage were swapped accidentally.
Related to Ninja Bond.
Yeah, which he had all this gear on him. Even though they dove under the water, they hiked all that way. He had nothing on him, but then he ends up in this gray weird gray ninja fatigue.
Yeah. I guess it blends in with the rock and the volcano.
Yeah, no, it
Maybe
makes
would be
sense
that color.
why it would look that way, but the fact that he had it on him suddenly was a little strange.
See, I thought the inside of a volcano would have more of that reddish
Yeah.
rock, like igneous
Yeah.
rock.
And it's one of those, like, did they hollow out a real volcano and build this thing? So I'm guessing they did, because it's
Because
supposed
it
to be
erupts at
natural
the end.
rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't really touch on how they're keeping the volcano at bay.
Okay, there's 3 guys in there, so I guess it's 2 Soviets and a Russian.
Yeah.
I
Makes sense.
I got confused because it's kind of hectic as to which ones were American, which ones were Russian.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all this is going on while America's getting ready to start World War III if their ship gets taken.
Yeah, so it's kind of like all the intensity and all the drama's building up, and it's kind of well done.
Mm-hmm.
Bond tries to, he rescues the astronauts, the cosmonauts, and then I didn't understand why he was going to get on board the rocket.
Yeah, because if he did get on the rocket and somehow sabotage it, he would have gotten blown up by the automatic blow-up button they have.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he wouldn't know that, and then for some weird reason, Blofeld spots him. Somehow knows that it's Bond, even though he doesn't see his face.
He's carrying his own oxygen thing, is what he says.
Yeah, I guess that's...
And Blofeld's awesome like that.
Yeah.
But this is the worst reveal, I think.
It's a little strange.
He just pokes his head around somebody's butt.
I know. Yeah, you're...
Hello, I am Ernesto Blofeld. And that's exactly how he sounds.
Basically, yeah. And then, you do get the title of the movie.
Yes, this is my second life.
You only live twice, Mr. Bond.
And his eye looks like it's got foreskin.
It is weird.
It's like this flap of skin that hangs over. I don't know. It's weird.
But Donald Pleasance, who plays Blofeld, has a look.
It's
creepy and
don't ever blink look.
Yeah. Bond is kind of observing, kind of being held captive and observing this rocket launch procedure and everything.
Luckily, they're showing him exactly how to blow up the rocket.
Right. Oh, and I didn't notice until just a few minutes ago that they painted the Spectre rocket to look like a
CCP,
Russian.
Russian.
The Russian.
I noticed it a lot once it's up there.
Yeah.
Because they have the big sickle and hammer and the CCP.
Sure.
CCP. Yeah.
But rocket launches, and now it's up to Bond to basically create some kind of diversion kind of thing, and
luckily Blofeld gives him the cigarette.
Yeah, lets him have one last cigarette that
has a rocket shot in it.
Yeah, which apparently worked. It was a real thing.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like it would blow up your hand.
Well, they said that it had no penetrating power. Like, you could basically put your hand up to it, and it wouldn't even go through a piece of paper because it needed to build up speed as it propelled forward. So
I just had imagined it blowing up your hand because you're holding it right where it shoots out.
Yeah. So basically, the Tiger Tanaka leads this, raid on the volcano because Kissy Suzuki was able to get back to him and inform Tiger and everything. Of course, she couldn't be given a change of clothes at any point.
Well, she swam back to tell them.
Yeah. But
I like the turret guns or the machine guns.
They're just
volcano opening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're gonna enter it, that's the only place that is known anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be tunnels outside of that, but
as the Tanaka's army is closing in, Bond creates this ruckus. Uses a cigarette, kills a red shirt, literally. And then there's just this badass ninja army versus Spectre army takes place, and it's I think really well done.
Yeah.
A lot of
ropes coming in.
Yeah. Repelling and guns and
ninja sword
and,
fights.
Yeah, it's a really well done.
There's a lot of people involved too. It's like a real battle sequence.
Yeah.
And Blofeld is hiding behind his impenetrable wall that's
there's a metal shutter kind of thing. Yeah.
Not so impenetrable. It was hard to tell, at some point, who was winning.
Yeah.
Until, it felt like there was way more ninjas that just showed up out of nowhere.
Well, they just keep showing up.
Yeah.
Like, you just keep...
Like, did the gun stop in the...
Oh, outside?
It seems that way.
Probably. Maybe once the fight really started taking place, maybe whoever was operating those guns was distracted, you know.
I guess. It just felt like they kept coming and nobody was getting killed by those guns anymore.
I noted one of the guys rappelling was basically just spinning in a circle, like he hadn't quite made it to the floor yet, but he was just spinning around.
Oh yeah, the cat is like trying to escape that while all the explosions are going on.
Yeah, I heard that the cat was apparently the mascot for some like mattress company. Like did a lot of mattress commercials, right?
In Japan?
Yeah, I don't know where, but somewhere. And the cat could not work again after this movie. It was so freaked out, would not go to a film set without freaking out. So the cat trainer sued production, you know, for basically not being able to work anymore.
We get to a point where after the cat's traumatized, Blofeld shoots Asato.
Yeah.
And not Bond, and I have no idea why, because literally like, they walk through the door and then he wants to shoot Bond.
Right, there's no reason not to kill Bond there.
As own dude,
always
first.
Yeah.
I think Bond would take priority.
Yeah. It was one of those, you know, he could have just, you know, he had enough shots, he could have done one right after the other, but yeah, he shoots Asato.
Points it at Bond even.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
One of those poor execution kind of things, but that's just something you have to accept for the Bond movie.
But I thought he was going to set him up for a more elaborate death. But no, he just gets into a capsule and shoots him, tries to shoot him.
So yeah, at this point, Blofeld's kind of trying to make his escape. You know, and all hell is breaking loose. The control room's on fire. Everyone's, it's just chaos everywhere. And we didn't even talk about the Hans. The very typical Aryan henchman. You know, who it's kind of nice that you get him. He's not a big player in the movie. He doesn't talk at all. I don't know.
He just throws some meat in the water so far.
Yeah. So there was another fight with Hans and Bond.
He's trying to get to the blow-up button that was conveniently shown to stop the rocket and capture the other rocket.
Right. And, you know, Bond takes him out basically with the same way that Helga Brandt bought it, you know, with the Piranha tank. So.
But they're building up tension.
A lot of tension. They keep cutting back and forth to the U.S. control room, kind of like they're gearing up for war. There's like planes going everywhere, and so we have another bomb kind of thing countdown with
another Goldfinger-esque countdown of the bomb.
Yeah,
or capture in this sense.
So you know, Bond manages to blow up the Spectre rocket and basically save the day, and meanwhile Blofeld's still like running around.
I find it weird how America just goes, okay, never mind. I mean, something's still trying to go after the rocket.
They're still a threat.
Yeah. It's like, good job, boys. We'll call this a day.
Right. So then the volcano starts blowing all to hell, and it's funny watching the floor of the set started bouncing every time there was an explosion. But then everyone basically is escaping, and
at first I was like waiting for the piranha to escape with the swimmers.
Man, that would have been great. And only going after the bad guys.
Like the fish somehow remember that they were tortured by their captives.
And this is another one of the typical Bond movies. Like it just wraps up real quickly. The volcano starts to explode, and
in a raft,
on a boat,
on the water. So it's always water.
Yeah, pretty typical Bond ending. Wraps up really quick with a fight. Blofeld got away. You know, he hit the volcano layer self-destruct button.
And then somehow escaped. We don't know
how.
Yeah, you're assuming he did.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he just killed himself.
Right.
I mean, the only thing that was different, I thought, was that Moneypenny gets the last word.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you do get to see M and Moneypenny again.
Which is a kind of funny line she ended up.
Yeah, I like that M's sub just pops up right underneath Bond's life raft. You know, so they're kind of interrupted.
Dinghy's on board, sir.
Tell him to come below and report.
It'll be a pleasure, sir.
Because she knows he's up there, Getting freaky with Miss Kissy.
That's right. And then the movie just wraps up, right?
Yeah.
And the song starts playing again, and we find out that James Bond will be back on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
So do you want to go into maybe 2 pros, 2 cons, or something like that?
Yeah,
Shorten that up even.
Sure.
So I always feel like we're stretching for the third one.
Yeah, I mean, I only wrote down 2 cons.
Yeah.
I do have 3 pros, but I could probably tighten one of those up because, I mean, honestly, one of them is Ken Adam again.
Okay.
I can't not give that guy props. What's one of yours?
Pros, I would have to say the on-location shots in Japan.
Sure.
Like the fact that they committed to filming in Japan.
Yes, that was
really made the movie, I thought.
Yeah, that was my number 2. Was also scenery and locations and all that stuff. So yeah. What else?
Other than that, I'd say I enjoyed seeing another country's version of the 00 program kind of. I don't know how you'd say it other than Secret Service.
Yeah, it's the Japanese Secret Service. It's like SIS, I think is what it's called. So
yeah, I thought it was cool seeing a different part of the world's own agency in action with Bond. And Bond, like, I'll get into it later where we talk about like our interpretation of like what we learned from this one, like the meaning behind it, sort of thing. So yeah, those are my pros. Okay.
My only other one I had was that I like how much action is kind of evenly distributed throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go from Bond chasing the assassin guy, Mr. Henderson, to the fight with the guy in the office, and then kind of the helicopter scene, the rooftop chase fight scene.
Yeah, it had a lot of good sequences in a row.
Yeah, the ninja training was cool,
and it wasn't. There was that one from Russia with Love where it was bizarrely put together. Almost like they threw extra action at the end.
Right.
Of the
3 big action scenes at the very end of the movie, and now I think they've kind of figured out you need to have an action beat every, maybe 15 minutes of the movie or something like that.
Although in this one it wasn't really a one-on-one big battle. It was more of the different armies going at each other. Because the Hans battle
come up again, and Moonraker, that happens again, and also in Spy Who Loved Me. So again, in the other movies that Lewis Gilbert directs, they basically end with a battle or army versus army kind of ending.
I mean, they did that in the previous ones. We've seen like the underwater fight scene.
Yeah.
And the cons, I guess I had was the whole reasoning behind turning Bond into a Japanese fisherman.
Yeah.
Why that was ever necessary.
Yeah, I had that point too, that there's not enough reason to show Bond getting married and or turning into Japanese.
No point. I mean, he could have just stayed at Tanaka's grotto.
Right.
And gotten caught by a couple of guys or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Spectre's on the hunt for Bond. I mean, you never get that feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they are, but it's not depicted at all.
Yeah, aside from kind of the assassination attempt with the string poison, that's the only time that they seem to win, I guess, in the ninja training.
And it's only because he's out in public, in this undercover Japanese fishing village.
Yeah.
He could have just stayed put at Tanaka's lair and been way safer. Because they even find out then, because, hey, we found out there's this weird Scottish-sounding Japanese guy who doesn't look anything like a Japanese person. It's just so poorly done and constructed. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, they can already infiltrate the trading grounds with that one guy with a spear.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point of all
that? Not very secure.
But yeah, that was my big con.
Okay. I think I had one more that the henchmen are kind of lacking for me in this one. I mean, they use the Hans character later, just barely in the end, and then even Helga Brandt for me was not a high point in the movie. Like, her character, not in it very much, but again, for me, just felt identical to Fiona Volpe.
See, I like that she never went back on her
trying to kill. I'm good with that. Just, I don't know. Something about it. Just, I guess for me, having a character who looks and behaves just
She's
like
a
the
pilot
previous
and-
character
yeah.
seemed weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought about it in that sense. I
Yeah.
just like that she never was like taken in by Bond.
I'm definitely on board with that. That's
She
nice.
did what he does.
Yeah.
Like he became the one that was off guard
Yeah.
after sleeping with
Right.
when they slept together.
Yeah.
Usually it's the female that is like turned into a Bond movie all of a sudden.
They've kind of gone away from that because even like Kissy Suzuki and Hiko, he didn't have to really seduce, or anything. Like Hiko, came onto him when he was getting a massage.
Yeah.
That's what.
And she almost felt like that previous girl that was part of the Gypsy Village. There was like a mutual respect kind of thing.
Yes.
Because she saved Bond a couple times.
Yeah.
And like they were just enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a seduction one way or the other.
What's next? We're gonna
ratings or talk about the meaning behind the film or
themes
or something.
I think the big theme here is Cold War, tension between Russia and, I guess, in the West or U.S. Yeah,
Russia.
It's always weird when the movie's essentially about Russia versus U.S., even though it's the British, and the British have to kind of be that middle.
Yeah, they're the sound reason.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hold on. And it looks like Russia did this, but it's really.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of the meaning, or
it's almost like England's exasperation about the Cold War.
Yeah.
And it being Russia and U.S. being the superpowers.
Yeah.
And being unreasonable. And it's almost showing how if you work together with, like, how they're working with Japan, you can accomplish something.
Yeah.
And whereas Russia and the U.S. are more unreasonable and just blinded by their own hatred of each other.
Yeah.
So it's international cooperation.
Right. And it's interesting that they chose Japan for this because I have to imagine, you're 67, you're just 20 years shy of World War II, and Japan was obviously one of our enemies, and so it's interesting showing Japan as good guys. Yeah, I like that. Do you have any quotes or anything?
I think we talked about my big one was the Bond saying Japanese girls taste different.
Yeah. I think in the book they do a better job of explaining the title, the You Only Live Twice.
Oh, yeah.
And the meaning is you only live twice, once when you're born and once when you have a near-death experience.
So something along those lines. I thought it was more religion-based. Like you have a rebirth.
Like a rebirth. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I guess that's...
Like born-again Christians, kind of.
Yeah, the near-death thing brings you, once you're on the other side of a near-death experience, you're kind of a new person, I guess.
Or it could be like, you had one life as a single person, and then another life as a married person.
Yeah, you kind of
those are different stages of life.
In weddings, you kind of hear that a lot. And he does get married in this one.
Yeah. It was kind of funny in that scene, watching the older Japanese woman come up to him. He's been told this whole time that she looks like a sea bass, essentially.
Because they something pig face.
Pig face, that's right. Yeah. I was going sea bass because they're fishermen.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. You want to get into ratings?
Yeah.
Ratings. Dun, 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 dun. It's kind of like Johnny Carson. Okay.
Because of it follows along with the Bond format. For me, I do enjoy that. For some people, it might get a little stale or redundant kind of thing. Seeing basically the same progression throughout each of these movies, but I like it. I really dig Donald Pleasance's performance as Blofeld. He's creepy, he's weird. It's an obvious template for Dr. Evil. I mean, they don't stray very far, from this character. My only downside, like I've said, really is some of the characters that pop up and aren't used very much. Henderson and Helga Brandt. But no, overall, I give this a 3.5.
Okay. For the most part, I found it very entertaining. I like the different view of the Bond world through Japan.
Yeah.
I like the pacing of this, except for that one section where he's being turned into a Japanese fisherman. But for the most part, and I like the giant battle in the volcano. Disappointed with the gadgets a little bit. I know you like the copter more than I did.
Yeah.
The car magnet was pretty sweet. Great idea.
Yeah.
How to get rid of somebody that's chasing you if you're nearby a sea, I guess.
Totally.
I guess you could drop them anywhere, Grand Canyon, something like that. But as a whole, I'd probably find this one of the more entertaining Bonds that we've seen so far. Not the best one, but it was entertaining. Like, it kept my interest. So I'd probably give it around 3.5 as well.
Okay.
I wanted to give it a 4, but that whole ninja training, Japanese training fisherman part, and it kind of threw me off.
Yeah, I almost went 3.5 or 3.75, but it just wasn't enough to get me up to a 4. I like it. I'd rewatch this one, but not one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
I like it.
Yeah. The shots were really good shots, like the roof scene.
Yes.
The space shots were even pretty decent. Rocket launches.
Yeah.
I mean, it was shot pretty well.
Yeah, and this is the same cinematographer that did Lawrence of Arabia. So he's used to like big scope, and
Yeah, because I mean, if you're gonna shoot in Japan, you gotta have good shots. I mean, otherwise, what's the point?
Right. Let's wrap this thing up.
So next on the list is Planet of the Apes.
That's right, 1968, Planet of the Apes.
With Charlton Heston. You have to talk like your face is being pulled back. Yes. Oh my God.
That's going to be a fun one.
As I was telling Travis in between stuff off mic, well, we might have recorded it, hopefully not. But I was saying that Heston's like the prototypical, like, rough and tough male lead.
Yeah.
Shatner kind of does the same thing, but not quite. Because Heston is that big strapping guy.
Yeah.
Shatner, I always thought was kind of, I don't know, dumpy version of
Heston. A little schlubbier.
Yeah.
Not quite leading man.
Like the Brannigan in Futurama.
Yes.
I think Brannigan's sort of like the two merged together, totally. Shatner and Heston. But I'm looking forward to Planet of the Apes.
Good. You've seen it, right?
I've seen bits and pieces, or maybe I can only remember bits and pieces.
That'll be a good one.
That does it for this episode.
Yeah, you can email us at realcomicheroes@gmail.com. Send us any feedback you want there, or give us a rating and review on iTunes.
Tell us if that guy in Pee-wee's Big Adventure is
Oddjob. Yeah, that's your homework. But other than that, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Real Comic Heroes. So that'll do it for us this time. We're going to play out the trailer for Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Travis is better. There you go. Yours is more old and decrepit stuff.
Can't help thinking that somewhere in the universe there has to be something better than man. Has to be.
The words are Charlton Heston's.
Get out a last signal to Earth that we've landed!
The world he finds out in the galaxy will challenge every idea you've ever had of civilization. A planet where man is the lowest order of living things, and the superior beings are apes. They build the cities, make the laws, the gods, and control the guns that hunt a race of lowly, terrified humans who run wild in the jungles, are caged in the prisons, and stuffed in the museums. 20th Century Fox transforms the motion picture screen into Planet of the Apes. The airborne finest novel since Bridge on the River Kwai.
It was a world gone insane, an upside-down civilization that could not be real. Yes, a world of madness and terror.
Man has no understanding. He can be taught a few simple tricks, nothing more.
You did it. You cut up his brain, you bloody baboon! It's a madhouse! It's a madhouse! A madhouse! But it did not end here. It ended in an episode so unpredictable, so shocking, it made the horror which preceded it seem calm and gentle as a summer's night. A great many people worked long and hard to answer the question of what a civilization would be like where the evolutionary process had been reversed and apes were the superior species. Hundreds of technicians and the largest number of makeup artists ever assembled assisted the producers, the writers, the director, and the cast. Dr. Cornelius, Roddy McDowell. Dr. Zira, as played by Kim Hunter. Dr. Zayas is portrayed by Maurice Evans. And Nova by Linda Harrison.
Now the tribunal has placed you in my custody for final disposition. You realize what that means?
No.
Emasculation to begin with. Then experimental surgery on the speech centers, on the brain. Eventually a kind of living death.
Planet of the Apes, beyond your wildest dreams.